Okay, if you watched my previous video, you see that I'm in the middle of working on an ASSA 700. This is a 7-pin lock that has a combination of tapered drivers, gin bottle spools, and a Christmas tree spool in there. I've already removed the back seat clip because it's this solid chunk of metal that's not springy, so it's a pain to remove. So in case I get it open, I'll be able to gut it. The tapers you're going to want to pick first, and I believe on all ASSA 700s they're on pins 3, 5, and 7, because then I'll drop you into false set and you'll just worry about picking those spools without having to worry about the tapers anymore, because you'll have rotated past them dropping back down. I've seen like a couple videos of people picking this, and they all seem to just like fly through the initial pins like nothing. And for me, getting these tapers out the way seems to be like more than half the battle. I did get it picked once just before this, and so but every time I went to try this, I had a hard time with getting the tapered pin set. So now pin 7, and I get nice clicks out of each of them, but I think pin 7 is like super high up there and I just have a hard time with it. So check 3, check 5, and 7. Now I'm going to really crank up the tension to see if that helps. 3, click, 5, little click, and 7. Now finding 7's hard because it's way up there. Okay, I got some rotation off the core, but not quite enough. So one of these is probably like at the bottom of its taper, just kind of holding on for dear life. There we go, it's 5 was holding on. So now I'm in my false set. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to float pick the gin bottles and Christmas tree. So what I'm doing is I'm going to rotate it backwards manually, but I don't want it to go so far back to reset those tapered pins, right? So I just want it to go back far enough to be able to set this gin bottle. This gin bottle, the reason I have to do it this way is the gin bottle's lip is caught in counter milling that's on pins 1, 2, 4, and 6. There's counter milling in there to catch that lip of that spool. And if you push up on it, even if you keep pressure on it, no matter whether or not you release all your tension, it's just going to stick in that counter milling. So you kind of have to bounce it until you get it to the point where it can get free of that counter milling. And you want to be careful not to. So I did pin 1 just now, and you want to be careful not to overset it, because all these key pins are mushroom pins, and I don't know how to recover from that. I just have to start over. Maybe better pickers can recover from that. All right, pin 2 right here, doing the bounce, and pin 2. Then pin 4, doing the bounce, and rotating off the tension, or counterclockwise, right of the rotation. And pin 4 has to go pretty far, it seems. Come on. I'm scared to go too much further. Okay, pin 4. That rotated a lot. I'm afraid I just overset pin 4. But we'll try pin 6. Pin 6. So pin 6 is the Christmas tree. I have a big feeling I just overset pin 4. Pin 6. No, I didn't overset pin 4 because we haven't opened. Alright, so let's go ahead and look inside this ASSA 700. I do have, like, there are these anti-drill pins in there, and they have holes that the driver pins can drop down into, so I gotta be a bit careful gutting this. It is advisable to shim it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and lock it up use the key. And actually, if I don't rotate it, I don't have to worry about those dropping in. But I'm going to shim it anyways because it's got this huge C-clip gap from that massive piece of metal. And the drivers can drop into that potentially. I don't think they can fit, but all right, it's having a hard time getting the shim in there with it with the, oh my gosh, I had a hard time getting the shim in there with the key straight, so maybe I'm gonna have to do it at an angle and avoid those anti-drill holes. All right, so just bending the shim like crazy. Hopefully we'll be okay. So we'll slide this in, and we are okay. Just poke my finger really big. All right, so yank that out. All right, first we'll start, I guess, with this. 7. Oh, did I say 6 pin or 7 pin? I don't remember. It's 7 pin, if I said it wrong earlier. Come on. So it's a mushroom, and then we got a standard pin on 4, or on 5. So standard pin, which is pushing up a gin bottle. This is just a anti-drill pin. There's 3 as a standard pin. So they're not all mushrooms. I should be, I guess, showing that the mushrooms are oriented the correct direction as they come out. Well, hopefully that, if you watch that slow-mo, you can see that coming out the right way. When you saw them from the top, if you have the mushrooms in upside down, you would have seen something considerably different. So that's the right way. Actually, it's in the wrong hole, that's why it sticks out. But that's the right way. You see it flat. If it's upside down in there, it looks like a point. Actually, I don't know if the key would actually work if it's upside down, because it points out above the shear line. So I don't know if that would actually work. In any case, those are the mushrooms. And then in here, we've got a bunch of different things going on for driver pins. So pin number 1, gin bottle, facing. You want the gin bottle to be facing into the keyway, so that that lip of the spool there, you want that to catch. Well, for security, you want it to be able to catch on this counter milling that you have right here. So you have counter milling on 1, 2, 4, and 6, but there's nothing on 3, 5, 7, because 3, 5, 7 is where those tapered pins are at. So pin 1 is just a standard spring. I think they're all the same spring. Pin 2, another gin bottle. 3 is just it's not a standard pin. It is slightly tapered. 4 should be another gin bottle. There's another gin bottle. 5 should be another one of those tapered ones. Tapered. 6, another gin bottle. Yeah, that one kind of flung around a little. Oh, no, not gin bottle. What am I saying? So 6 is your Christmas tree. I'll show you later. And then the last one is another tapered. Like that. All the springs are just regular old springs, or the same as each other. They're pretty strong springs, actually. Really long. So that's that. And let's see, we can show this off. Whoa, look at that. Well, that's the 7th pin. I'll show that after. So there are pins 1 to 6. You got a bunch of mushroom pins for the key pins, and then all these gin bottles and tapered pins. Pin 7 is just looking like that. With this, yep, that's right. The other 2 pins down here, again, those are the anti-drill pins, so no big deal. Anyways, that's the ASSA 700, so hopefully that helps somebody get into their own one as well. Thanks, bye.